everyone, this is Penelope from Urban Spools. I'm here today with a video on how to make bias binding. We know that there are a lot of people out there making masks and that there is a shortage on elastic, so we're here today to show you just a quick way with and without the binding tool how to make bias tape. First thing you're going to need is a square of fabric. This fabric here I'm using is new to the shop. It is a line called Butterscotch by Dana Willard, but for Figo fabric, so it's really cute. Super excited about that. You're also going to need a rotary cutter, a ruler, if I can get mine, a ruler, a marking pen or pencil, and if you're going to use a bias tape maker, a bias tape maker. Now I'm going to show you both ways, so no worries about that if you don't have one. If you're interested in getting one though, we do have them in the shop and we'll have a link to that below. So first thing you're going to need is a square of fabric. Now the fabric I'm using, keep in mind, is a bit smaller than what I would recommend. So as big of a square as possible that you can get by. If you're using a fat quarter, that could be an 18 by 18 inch square. So don't worry about how large my square is, but let's get going. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take it right sides up. We're going to go corner to corner first, okay, and then do a little finger press. Take your opposite corner up, and now we have a small triangle. Then what we're going to do is we are going to take the side with the two folds here, and along that we're going to fold it again. So we're going to end up with our multiple folds on this side, single fold on this side. From there, we're going to go ahead and start cutting. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the excess off, and using my mat, I'm going to make 2-inch cuts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to end up with 1/4 inch bias tape, so I'm going to make 2-inch cuts. I'm going to go along, make as many cuts as I can. All right. Now that I have that, I'm going to open these guys up, and you'll notice that bias tape is going to be stretchy because it's on the bias. We want it to have a little bit of stretch, and what that's going to do is it's going to enable the ties to have a little give to them. Okay, so once we have everything cut out into our strips, we're going to need to go ahead and sew those together. So we're going to take one strip right side up, take the opposite strip right side down, and if you'll notice, what I'm doing is I'm lining up my straight edge here and my straight edge here. Then I'm going to grab my ruler and my marking pen, and I'm going to make our sewing line from corner to corner. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to head over to the sewing machine, sew this up for us, and I'll be right back. I'm going to pin this in place first just so I don't lose it. I'll be right back with you. All right, thanks for your patience. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to cut our 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to line up my ruler on my sew line with a 1/4 inch, take my rotary cutter and cut it. Get my scraps out of the way. Then you're going to walk over to your ironing board or pressing mat, and you're going to want to press your seam open. This will eliminate any extra bulk. Oops. All right, there it goes. Be careful at this point. The mat is probably going to be hot. Your fabric is going to be hot if your iron is up high, so just be careful with that. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to use our bias tape maker. This is a 1-inch bias tape maker when it's single folded. Double fold, it's going to end up with a 1/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pointy end. You'll notice that on this side you have a larger opening. This side has the smaller opening with the with the U shape in the front in the middle. And I'm going to take my pointed end and stick it through my bias tape maker. If I'm having trouble with the fabric kind of coming through, you'll notice there's a little slit in there. I can take a pin and kind of help feed it through to grab my fabric. I'm going to pull a little bit out so that you can see that it's going to start to create that double turn. And get my iron and just start pressing away. Again, be careful. It is hot, 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 and we don't want to get burned. But we want our bias tape super crispy. So we want to press, press, press as much as possible so that we can get that fold to hold nice and tight. Press, press, press. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through one more time and give it another really good press. At this point, we now have single fold bias tape. What we're going to do, again, super hot, be careful with your fingers. We are going to fold it over one more time. So fold it in half again. Press, press, press. Take it slow. At this point, you're more than welcome to use steam in your iron. Not necessary, but does help sometimes to get that fabric nice and crispy. Now, this is bias tape, right? So again, it has a little bit of that stretch to it, and you can use it for making masks, and you can actually use it for a number of things. But this way, if you do have extra scraps at home, you can use it to make those mask ties. Next up, I'm going to show you how to do this without a bias tape maker. So here we have our double fold 1/4 inch bias tape using the bias tape maker. As I mentioned, it's a 1 inch bias tape maker to make a double fold 1/4 inch bias tape.